up, y'all? Good morning, almost afternoon. It's rainy as hell here, but Adam over at Subsonic has invited the crew to come over and check out their facilities and go on a tour and shit. And if somehow it happens to dry up, then maybe we'll go do a group ride. So I'm gonna go fuel up the car and we're gonna drive over to Seattle. Check this shit out. This is bullshit, yo. I hate this. I've had to put gas in my car like 3 or 4 times in January.
I'll just give you a little bit of the history stuff. So Subsonic Skateboard started in 1999 in Portland by this guy named Scott Moore. And like so many people, he got a master's degree in fine arts and sculpture, and then found out you can't make a living doing that. And he started doing skateboards. And we have this wall out here that's got a bunch of historical boards on it. And it's really cool to look at his early designs and how they've evolved since 1999. So in 2015, we helped my son buy most of Subsonic, and we moved it from Portland up here. And the idea was to, in addition to, like Scott did mostly custom boards, so still about half of our volume is custom boards, and they ship all over the world. So, and then we made these factory boards. So there's 6 models of factory boards. And this is probably the most popular one. This is called the Century 40. It's a long distance push board. So what's nice about it, it has a lot of great feel for it, because what I found is that for a lot of these skateboard people, their skateboard is to their feet what a violin is to a musician's fingers. And they just have this tremendous capability to feel what's going on underneath there. And like a musician, they're always tuning their board, right? It's like, oh, I gotta get different bushings, I gotta try these wheels, my grip tape's not quite right. So there's all this period of when it's not quite right, and then there's the time when it feels just great. So a lot of our boards are pretty, we think we're sort of the high end of the market in terms of feel and just getting exactly what you want. So anyway, there's Century 40. This one was ridden by the guy who held the record at Ultra Skate, which is a 24-hour long-distance push race in Florida every year. The guy went over 300 miles in 24 hours on Century 40. And then this one is a GT40, which is more of a, it's also a push deck, but it's not as steep, and it's got drop-through capabilities. So a lot of people have built electrics with this one, and eBoosted sells an enclosure for this one. I think he does an enclosure for this one.
He does.
The GT40, and this is the Talon. This is actually a Gen 1 Talon, so he does an enclosure for that one, and then there's Gen 2 Talon. This one is the Vega, which is more of a downhill board, so he doesn't do that. And this one is the Ruse, which hasn't sold a whole lot, maybe because of the graphics heavily. And then there's a Century 36, which is it's like this board but smaller, and I think he's got an enclosure for this one too. So a lot of people like these ones with there's a little bit of a drop, so you can kind of feel the board under your feet, and then nice shape. And then, you know, we can make them to whatever. We made a 14 ply board for somebody once, because they weighed 320 pounds or something. So even more than me. And then, you know, people will say, oh, I want 2 layers of carbon fiber, or I want triaxial fiberglass, or I want this or that, and we'll do custom staining and screen prints in different sizes. So a lot of people like that stuff. Anyway, that's it. So kind of our aim is, we've been doing custom boards for a long time, we're shipping them all over the world, and we're trying to get more production volume going and doing OEM work for people as well.
I have like 3 different ideas.
talking about. Right. So we stuck in Rob with dirt and selfies. And that's a very difficult work to make. It's hard to make it without warping. We had a bunch of them that warped. And so we try not to throw things away, so they became a walkway. So anyway, let's see. I guess. So my shtick is that this is an identity crisis thing going on here. So you have these trees that are growing in Canada or eastern United States, and they have a very strong identity that they are a maple tree. They feel really good about that. But humans come along and they say, well, that's not going to be your fate. So they come and they cut down the tree, and they take it to a mill, and they steam it, and they unpeel the rings of the tree, and they make plies. And we buy the plies, and we have them shipped here. So there's kind of what they look like. And part of what we do is there's different recipes for different boards. So these are sanded face plies. You can see those ones you want to have really pretty minimal blemish, and they're nicely sanded because the finish and the look of the board is really critical to us. And then you have other ones that maybe they have holes or they're not so great, so those will go in the middle. And then depending on the board, there's sort of a recipe of so many cross-grain plies and so many long-grain plies. So when you put a sandwich together with so many like that, and then you get the different strength. And for some boards, we actually just put them together with white glue and a paint roller. Just put the glue in there, get the right stack on it, and then put it in the press. Other ones have carbon fiber layers or triaxial fiberglass
Or an old blanket.
Yeah. Or there's this stuff called Texalium, which is it's aluminum coated fiberglass, so it's really sparkly. I don't see any of it here. So anyway, and then if we do that, then for the composites we use epoxy resin. So it's a two-part system. You have to mix it over there, and then it's the fiberglass crafting deal is time. So it's going to harden a certain amount of time, and you got to get it all right by then, and then get it lined up, and then get it into the press. And then a lot of them I'll show you in the finished ones, but they get hand stained with these different wood stains here. So there's different colors, and the different boards have different. Like here's the different formulas from one of them, right? So I'll show you the Century 40. It's called some people call it the bacon board. So when you look at one again, you'll see where that comes from. And then we do custom stain designs for people. So they can say, I want it to be red at the back and green at the front and fade between, front to back, side to side. And some people really get what they get delight out of what we do for them. So like there's some sports team people who want San Francisco Giants colors on the board, and we put them up on Instagram, so they're cool to look at. So anyway, the other thing with the wood is you got to keep it at the right temperature and the right humidity. So this is the humidity temperature controlled room, and I guess that's about it.
The process.
So yeah, so you take this stack. Okay, you take a stack of plies, and you go out here and you put it in the press. And we'll take a quick look at the presses, and then we'll come back and see what it looks like here. So,
There's a process.
so here's the presses, and this is just you buy a 4x8 foot piece of ultralight MDF because moving these molds around, you don't want them to be too heavy. And you affix it to this press, and then we use this layer of plastic to protect the mold so that the glue doesn't stick to it. And you put your sandwich in here, and then there's a big air compressor in the back, and this will operate the hydraulic, and close it up, and you can see the board having this identity crisis as it gets rammed with 2,000 pounds per square inch of pressure to tell it it's no longer part of a mega tree. It's going to be a skateboard. And you know, usually we win that, but not always. Sometimes they warp, sometimes things go wrong, but that's just part of it. So one of the things that's different about us is it's called cold press. So we'll put it in there and it stays for I think 4 to 6 hours. And then when it comes out, it's ready for the next process. Other people who are trying to do high volume production, they'll have a heat layer in here. And so they're heating it and they can take it out of the press in like 45 minutes. But when you're heating the glue, you're kind of boiling the glue and it doesn't get permeated through the wood fibers as much. So I think this cold press takes time, but it's a better process. And you know, we just have extreme durability with these boards. Usually the only reason people ever buy another one is because they want another one, not because the old one wore out. So anyway, so after this comes out of here, then it comes out into this 2-day period. So back into the temperature and heat control. Yeah, so here's ones like, these look like they're all customs. So here's one, you can see the custom requirement they had. So this is triaxial fiberglass, top and bottom, custom. Yeah, this one's gonna go to North Carolina. So, yeah, it's a Century 40. So, anyway, so that's what it looks like. And then after it's a while, we'll peel this mylar off, and then it will go into the machine room. So there's that one. And you gotta put them in the right way or people will let you. Here's another one that's, this is carbon fiber top and bottom. And this one's going to Scottsdale, Arizona.
How do you do the colors?
You take the stain there and you have like a little rag and you just kind of wipe it on. So this one, the top and bottom, triaxial carbon fiberglass. Let's go to Miami.
Yum.
And then here's one with green, and this has got an internal, yeah, 2 layers of carbon fiber. That'll make it really strong. I don't know who that's getting now. Look at this one. Oh yeah. That's it. Oh, here's this is a Lee Dancy. No, I guess this is a downhill board of Vega. So you can see the sort of aggressive rocker here, kind of flat. So anyway, they sit here for 2 days, and then they look like this, and they're on to their next fate, which is back here in the machine room. Oh. This is Bessie. So Bessie is built in 2002. Its original identity was machine related cabinets. And we bought it from some people in British Columbia, brought it down here. And it's honestly kind of a lazy machine. It doesn't do near the volume that it should. It's tremendously capable. It has up to 8 different changeable bits, so it can automatically pick up these bits and swap them in and out. And if you're curious and you get down low, you can see there's like 22 different side bore, top bore. There's 2 rotating circular blades in there. This machine it's really meant to make cabinets and put all the screws in for adjustable shelves and all that. And we did all this design work to make really two parts to a skateboard design. One part is the top and the bottom of the mold, and then the other one is the fixture. So over there is a vacuum pump that produces 60 cubic inches per square inch of vacuum, and it's 60 cubic inches, or 60 psi negative, and it's hooked up there. You put the blank on here and it'll suck it down and hold it in place, and then the machine will come and cut out the board itself, the outline of the board first, and then some of the boards it'll cut wheel wells in, and then some of them it'll drill holes. So, but some of them are they're not flat, so it can't drill the holes that aren't flat. So Sam is over there putting in holes in a Century 40, which is it's custom. Well, actually, for all the Century 40s, you have to hand drill them. So we're actually working on how to make that happen faster. So anyway, that's the CNC machine. It has a monster dust collector over there. And then safety first, that's a pressure sensitive mat there. So while the machine is running, if you step on that, the machine will stop. This is Windows 95, it never dies. Then they're hand sanded. And a big part of what we do is to get the edge of the board so that when you pick it up and you hold it in your hand, it feels great. So a lot of the cheapest boards, a human probably never touched it before you did. Every one of these is handcrafted. I think I try to call them furniture grade finishing. So anyway, and then after they're all sanded up, we bring them to the spray booth and we spray them with clear lacquer, water-based lacquer, so it's low toxicity. And we put on 3 or 4 coats, and we do screen printing. As a result, the kind of has a 3D look to it. And these are all the custom screens for the various designs. And then you just put it on here, and it's like screen printing a t-shirt, but a little more challenging. So, and then some of them, lately we've been doing laser engraving. So I'll show you a couple of those on the finished product area. And that also has a really nice 3D look to it.
Want to serial number them? Be responsible for holding it and then drop it.
Yeah, and then here's this is a production Century 36. So it's got the 3D laser cut. And then GT40 we saw earlier, Century 36, Century 40, Vega 36. Spirit 30 is actually a little tiny board with a nice kick tail on it. And there's been some interest in this as an electric board. I think we sent Alan Chow in Peru 4 or 5 boards so he can make enclosures. He was interested in this one. So
That's what he's been working on.
and then we pack it up and put it in a box and ship it. That's about it.
So we have to show a finished board.
Oh yeah. So this is I guess this is a stock Century 40.
And this is per their design with the
Yeah.
cuts.
That's 2 minutes, 58 seconds.
Tree or skateboard? Tree or skateboard?
I'm a skateboard. I've changed my mind.
And then on Monday, another guy will come in and he'll do the sanding of the wheel wells and can finish the shaping of the rails, clean up the hull, and then it goes on for painting. So it's not as much fun as cutting it by hand, but obviously it's the way to go for very accurate and fast.
You have so many people that love your product.
There you go. Yeah, we gotta keep them breaking them out, right? Yeah. So this one is actually going to be a one-off, and then there's another one that we're cutting today. That's the actual one with the cut board. I don't know where these two we're working on today. I'm not sure what part of the world they're going to, but you know, we ship them all over. So this is the Pulse. Good pumper, good pushboard. That's that one. So I'm gonna go cut a couple more. Cool. Yeah. So I'm glad you guys got to see it.
Amazing!
Thank you.
Ride with Goofy Foot riders because we can look at each other and talk. So life lesson, find somebody in your life that's the opposite foot of you. So that was the tour, and we hit a fun group ride afterwards. A lot of fun was had. Subsonic got a lot of cool decks. You should check them out. Thank you guys for letting us come over and showing us around, and yeah, it was a fun ride. See you guys in the next video.